feel like her braids would have hurt headbanging around. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Arsenic and Espresso, a podcast where we rarely drink coffee, but we always talk about metal music. And tonight we are reacting to the much requested Jinjer.
Yes. We have gotten so many requests for this band. They're more of like a metalcore type band. And I know that she has harsh vocals as well. So that's about all I know about them.
I'm quite interested to hear what it will be like because I mentioned this in, I think it was in our Love Bites video, where like I feel a lot of times female-led metal bands they'll be kind of made fun of. Either they're not heavy enough, or if they are really heavy, they'll, people just say, oh, you guys are just posers. Like,
yeah, they get kind of pushed into like a cliche.
Yes, they're treated almost like satire.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to hear how her grungy vocals sound.
Yeah.
So tonight we are watching the music video for Prophecy. It's their newest release.
I think it is.
Or one of the newest.
Yeah.
Fairly recent.
And with every reaction we do, we always do a lyric breakdown at the end, so be sure to stick around for that. And if you like what you see, definitely hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be notified next time we post a video, hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell, because that's supposed to work. Some people say it does. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, so right off the bat, I love that they're like, this is filmed and like made to look like a tiny little garage or something. Like, I really love that.
Right.
But her vocals are way heavier than I was even anticipating. Even though you said like she's supposed to have like super heavy vocals.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that level,
well,
and that is fire.
That scream is good.
Yeah, it is.
Excessive use of power, initiations of use.
Honestly, I think it's good because she's keeping it at a lower octave.
Yeah.
She's like, if she were to be singing, she'd be in like a low alto, if not lower octave. Okay. And I think that's why it still sounds so good.
Yeah.
Because those lower octaves have like, there's more support behind the growl sound, right? Versus coming from a higher pitch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I gotcha. No, I'm digging it. It sounds like something that I would listen to.
This sounds exactly like something you would listen to.
So.
Misconception of the sounds, insulted egos, once inflamed, gentle arrows, mental attack, take
So they started off super fast. They brought it down slow. But what I'm liking the most about this is that I keep expecting her to go back to her cleans and her like melodic tone,
Yeah,
or like a melodic tone.
And it's not happening.
And it's not happening. And like, I don't know. I've talked about it, like the flyleaf effect, right? Where they had I'm So Sick, right? They released I'm So Sick during the era where screaming and metalcore was cool, right?
Yes.
That was what got played on the radio. And then you listen to the whole CD that Flyleaf put out, and I mean it was a good CD, but it sounded nothing
Like I'm So Sick.
like
Yeah.
I'm So Sick. Yeah. And then even in that song itself, like she can scream, but it was only to accent what the song was about. And I feel like there's many female vocalists, or a few that I know of, that use it more as an accent and not as like their main,
like the main vocal
vocal
style.
style. Yeah, and so this is pretty dope to see that.
Yeah, I agree.
That drummer is going ham too. So I know I'm stopping it a lot, but she can sing too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it opened up with like really punchy lyrics.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure if she had like a melodic voice or not.
Yes.
And she definitely does. And it's a good melodic voice too. So
It really is. It really is. I mean, obviously this is the only song we've listened to, but I do feel like this showcases her range. Right? Like we talk about that all the time. And we were actually talking about it earlier this evening, that sometimes vocalists will be really good at what they do, but just that one thing, and they won't have much of a range. It doesn't mean they're not talented. They just don't have a range. They don't have a large variety of vocal skills.
Yeah.
Or of vocal styles. And I feel like we've heard like a solid 3 different vocal styles, because she has her heavy screaming, she has her melodic vocals, and she also did that like kind of little bit like nu metal rapping in there as well.
Yeah, it was super like a punchy. Yeah.
Yeah, real punchy.
Yeah, that's what I describe it as, punchy.
Yeah.
Super just punchy. No, I can see it because yeah, there are definitely great bands out there that have great vocalists, but because of their style and their range, I feel like they get wrapped up into the same sound, right? And so you'll see, a handful of songs that are really good, but when you listen to the whole album, the whole CD, right, it kind of gets stale.
Yeah.
So for me though, I can hear this song and I can see from their style and her range and what they can do. I feel like listening to a whole album would be fun, and enticing. It would keep you kind of on your toes.
They definitely did that like fake out with the breakdown. Like I
Yeah.
totally thought the breakdown was coming. That's when she broke into like clean vocals, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, they didn't do like a traditional like metalcore breakdown.
I feel like the song itself didn't follow a very traditional metalcore like song structure.
Yeah.
Even though like the style is metalcore, the song structure was fairly different compared to other
Yeah.
metalcore songs. So it definitely like kind of kept you on your toes a little bit.
Yeah. For me too, I want to make a comparison to Bring Me the Horizon's new album. The first track on their album. What is that?
Dear Diary.
Dear Diary.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was so aggressive.
Mhm.
On the first listen through, because I had no idea what to expect. I wouldn't say it's a turnoff, but it caught me off guard.
Mhm.
And I couldn't quite just fall into it and enjoy the music.
Because
I
it
know.
does have such like a hardcore punk sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I listen to it again, I know that I'm gonna enjoy it right off the bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had no idea what to expect, so it definitely took me off guard. But yeah, I think this, if anything, showcased what they could do for sure.
Well, it did showcase like I mentioned like her range, but even just like the range of the band, because like this started with such like a punk sound, and then it did go into more of like a traditional metalcore sound, and then there was that like slightly new metal vocal thing that she did,
Yeah,
and then it ended with more of like a well with her clean vocals and like slightly slower paced
Yeah.
drums and everything. So like the song had a lot of dynamics as well
yeah,
throughout the whole thing.
yeah.
I feel like her braids would have hurt headbanging around. I think about how painful it was to headbang with my dreads, and I'm just like, those big old fat braids would
Right.
hurt super bad.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway,
You want to break out the lyrics?
we will go straight into the lyrics.
Oh, I wanted to say too before we break out the lyrics. You mentioned the band. I really enjoyed the drummer. And I could hear the bass come through in the mix. And that's what we talk about a lot, is that gets lost in the sound a whole lot. And so that was super enjoyable as well.
I also really liked the dude in the bucket hat. That gave me like such early 2000
Yeah.
new metal vibes. Like the whole video
Yeah.
gave me those kinds of vibes.
Mhm.
All right, so The Prophecy by Jinjer. Minuscule, micro, insignificant, minor. Why do you underestimate me? Have you heard the prophecy? Subordinated, wretched, mediocre, inferior. Why do you neglect me? Don't you know about the prophecy? Excessive use of power initiates abuse, misconception of the essence. Insulted egos, once inflamed, turned superheroes into the damned. Take your pride and go away. Take your pride and evaporate. Persistent scourge is your second name. Vital threat to all. Good Lord. Vital threat to all the inhabitants. My decision is to reintroduce you to the world. Ferocious ape, Mr. Know-it-all. I reclaim my kingdom. Hope your sun is gone. I reclaim my kingdom. Hope your sun will never rise again. Hear me, ogre. Concentrate. Humble yourself down until it's too late. The law of balance can't be revoked. When the earth is overwhelmed with you, it will shake you off. I reclaim your kingdom because your sun will never rise. I reclaim your kingdom. Reclaim my kingdom, not your kingdom. These lyrics remind me of like a this is a weird thing, but they remind me of like a fairy tale.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's just because she uses the phrase kingdom several times.
Yeah.
But it does make me think of like a
It,
like a story.
yeah.
This song is about letting go of someone who is toxic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it makes more sense than like fairy tale. But.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was written in a fun fairy tale like way.
But do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like why it gives me that like fairy tale vibe, and it's not just because she's a woman. Just the
Yeah, lyrically,
it
would
had that
go
story.
like really well on like a soundtrack or something, to
Yeah,
some sort of
yeah.
fairy tale thing. Gotcha. I gotcha. Cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this video, and we will definitely be doing more Jinjer reactions because there are a few other songs off this. I believe it was an EP, not a full album they
Oh, okay.
released, I think.
Yeah.
That I would be interested in listening to. So there
Cool.
will be more of this in the future. You can check out our other social medias. We are sometimes on Twitter and Instagram. Hit like and subscribe if you liked what you saw. You can also hit that little bell notification to supposedly remind you or notify you when we do upload. It is, gosh, we're halfway through November right now, and we
Crazy.
will actually be getting ready to have another underground bands
Yeah.
week of reviews.
Yeah, so this is actually for you guys right now that stuck around to this part of the episode. We want to keep this as something that we do that is in rotation for what we do fairly often, every few months. But finding these bands that are small, that have a small following, but that definitely deserve more views, more likes, more listens. And putting them in front of you guys.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that to be happening. We'll post our reaction and review to those bands. And if you like them, I mean, check them out. If you like them, definitely help them out. Give them a like, give them a follow. Let them know who sent you as well.
Yeah. So we'll post the playlist of our last review of underground bands in the description box. So check that out.
All right. Well, we'll catch
on
you
that
guys
note.
on the next one. Thank you guys so much for stopping by.